I am live again, video number 2. So hopefully, it looks like the microphone's working now. What time is it? 4:38. Oh, I've got to leave in about 50 minutes, I think. See if my mate messaged me. So if you are watching this at a later date, I've just been trying out this live stream thing, and I had a really good chat with one of my Muslim friends from the West Midlands. I think his name was Ifat by Amin, I think, and I was then chatting to, I think it was DJ Productions, and my microphone stopped working, so I ended the live stream and just started another one. And he's back. Cool. DJ Productions. Good now. Oh, fantastic. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we were talking about Christians. Yeah, that's right. I'm getting asking them questions and they can't answer them. Yeah. I know, like just your regular Christian that goes to church, they don't really teach apologetics at the churches. I don't know if you've ever been to a church service, but it kind of goes like they'll do 3 or 4 songs, and then there'll be like an introduction, then they'll do like a message, and then they'll do like a song at the end, and then it's sort of like, having some food or whatever after. And the message generally now, I mean, you have different denominations, but they're normally quite to speak into the person's week. And then people who know much about apologetics, they sort of have to have a particular interest in it, or they can study a course or something. Yeah, I think I only really got into apologetics about a year ago. But do you guys get taught apologetics at, say your mosque, or is it something that is like a cultural thing that you all do, or is it something you're just personally interested in? Because I find that Muslims are a lot better. They know a lot more about apologetics than us Christians. But I guess from what my limited understanding of the Quran, you sort of have a bit of apologetics in there anyway, don't you? I think regarding um, Christianity and Judaism. I'm talking so much, and it must be hard for you to keep up with the message. Apologetic. So we like the defense of the faith. So for example, yeah, if you were to ask me about I don't know, like say the Trinity, or you might say to me like, why am I a Christian? Then I would give an apologia, which is like an apologetic, like a defense. And then if, say, there was a atheist and I wanted to question why they're an atheist, I would be doing a polemic, like an attack's a bit of a strong word, but it's more like, yeah, dissecting why they believe what they believe, sort of thing. I find it. Let me think. More a defense, yeah, yeah. So, for example, yeah, if you ask me about the Trinity, and then I gave a defense, but yeah, I think you guys definitely know a lot more about other faiths, don't you? Because I've even seen, well, I've been actually meaning to watch more of this, like a debate between a Muslim at Speaker's Corner and a Hindu, because we'd like to know what our religion says and why we believe it. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we have a couple of verses in the Bible that tells us to give an apologia. One of them's in Peter, and I think because there's only like one or two verses, Christians tend to not bother with it too much, but we need to. Yeah, we question it. Yeah, no, it's impressive. Like I've noticed, like something that really stood out to me, and it had quite an impact on me actually. When I was at Speaker's Corner, I think I mentioned this in a previous video. Um, that I was at Speaker's Corner. I went to meet my cousin, and I was walking through the Hyde Park, and I wanted to see a couple of speakers on the way that I'd just sort of been watching recently on YouTube. They must have just popped up, and I ended up in a debate with Mansour. And oh, but I remember very vividly when I was engaging with him, I looked around, and there were like, I swear there was over 100 Muslims, and they were all just watching, like listening to every word, even though what I was saying wasn't particularly, insightful or informed. But it was, I could just see like um, the hunger and the passion for debating and knowledge, and I was like, wow. I was like, I wish Christians were like this. You know what I mean? Like, I wish there was 100 Christians like hanging off our conversation. Um, yeah. Let me think. Where are you based, if you don't mind me asking? Are you in the UK, or are you overseas somewhere in America? Or I'm just gonna have another look at your channel. I'll subscribe. There you go. You got number 21. Have you done some shorts as well? Oh, I've got another person. Hello, Rito Dalwood. So this is my second live stream, and you're my third person, I think. My first live stream was about half an hour ago. Oh, you comment. Oh, wow, South Africa. Oh, wow, DJ Productions, you're in Perth. Amazing. Would you read the history of Islam from the Surah, like the sealed nectar translated in English? Yeah, I was considering reading it. My problem is I've got so many things I want to read from. I want to read the biography. Well, I think that's one of the biographies, isn't it? The sealed nectar. I want to read. Um, is it Martin Ling's one? And I'd like to read a bit of Sahih al-Bukhari, and I'd like to read the rest of the Quran. But I also, on this channel, want to read a bit of the Bible, and I've got to do a response video to an atheist guy who did a response to my video, and then I've got my studying as well. So I've just got so much I want to read. I wish I could just read it all. and but no, I look forward to reading that. I spoke to a gentleman who said he was from Egypt, and he said that the gentleman who wrote the Sealed Nectar, I can't think of his name, that he is it Al Tabari? Yeah, I think it was Al Tabari, that he went through Egypt and he stayed there for a bit in Egypt. You don't need to read much about Islam. Question the Bible, that will give you many answers. I can show you a lot of simple things. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. And Perth's a nice place. I've been to Perth a few times, and yeah, it's a very nice place, isn't it? It's very far away. Like, I don't, you've probably flown to Sydney, and when you fly across Australia, and it's just hours and hours of just beautiful, empty land. And you got what's that place in Perth? Fremantle is nice. Oh, very old, isn't it? And then you got the kite surfers. And South Africa, I really want to visit South Africa. Like, I've heard that Cape Town's beautiful, and I spent about a month on a boat in Benin, next to Nigeria, years ago, and I found African people just the best people. They're just lovely. They all knew about football, which I'm a Chelsea fan. They knew all the players, every position, every result, and they always danced and they always sang, and they were just lovely people to be around. And yeah, if I had the money, I'd travel around Africa and South Africa. I'd love to, yeah, go to Kenya and oh, Bosnia. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of some Bosnian footballers. I think so. I was in Greece last summer visiting some places in the Bible, like literally a year ago, and I was in Thessaloniki and Philippi, and they're you've probably heard of Thessalonians and yeah, Philippians. They were written to the churches there, and I was going to travel back to England overland, and I was considering going through Bosnia. I think if I'm not if I'm I might be wrong. Please correct me. But Bosnia is got is there like a river or something, and on one side of the river is is Muslim. Is that correct? I'm going to quickly Google it, like see which footballers are from Bosnia. Um, South Africa has some good footballers as well. Like oh, who's that defender? They had a really good defender. Bosnian footballers. Oh, Ibrahimovic. Ah, because is that where his family are from then? Because I heard that he's Swedish, but his parents are from somewhere else. Ah, Edin Desko, Stankovic. Desko was amazing. Like because I'm a Chelsea fan, I was so jealous of him. Like he was at Man City, I think, wasn't he? And I was so jealous of Man City having him because he was just a monster. Like I think he was world class. I think he was exceptional. And then they sold him, and he went to Italy, and then he dominated there as well. And I'm like, why did they sell him? He's brilliant. Hang on. Dejan Musa is one of the most talented defensive players to have worn the Real Madrid jersey. The Bosnian forward, 11th World Cup. Wow. So Bosnia, mostly Muslim, got invaded 1992 to 95. Wow, by Serbs. Same genocide like Gaza happened to us. He's one of the best. Yeah, I that's one sort of conflict I heard a lot about, but I haven't researched too much into. I should do. I should do. I need to definitely be more educated on. Is it the Balkans? Is that the correct term? Yeah, I've heard was mostly Muslim. Yeah, I heard Serbia. I've heard that it's quite pro-Russian, isn't it? I had a Serbian friend here, and he was really nationalistic towards Serbia, even though he was born here. He was like Serbia, 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 and I was like thinking, have you even been to Serbia? He's one of the best. Mm. Yeah, Desco is an incredible player. Oh, he's a monster, isn't he? Like phenomenal player. It was hidden from the world. Yeah, most don't know. Not your fault. Yeah, it's tragic, isn't it? I hate it when that happens. When like stuff happens in the world and the media just ignore it. It's so strange, isn't it? That's why, like, I find it so tragic. Sorry, like I heard that in is it Sudan at the moment? There's a lot of and Yemen. I've heard that there's a lot of stuff going on there that you just don't really hear about in the news, and it's really tragic. And Congo. Um, I live in Cape Town. Wow, I've heard it's quite similar to Sydney, Cape Town, but a lot of people have said to me it's their favourite city. Oh, fantastic! There we go. Another Chelsea fan. Yeah, great. Yeah, Robin, amazing, wasn't he? Hazard, yeah, Desai, amazing. Di Matteo, yeah, brilliant. Lampard, Zola, all my favourites. Yeah, I know we were so lucky to have those players. Because I'm 44. I can't really see how old you are, Renzo, but like when I started supporting Chelsea, because my local primary school did, everyone supported Chelsea. So I moved to that school, and then I was like, oh, I want to fit in. You know what I mean? So I don't want to get bullied. So I started supporting Chelsea, and then like at that time they were near the bottom of the old First Division, and then what was it? Was it Rude Viali or Hullet? One of them two came in first. Oh no, first of all was Glenn Hoddle, and then he came from Swindon, which was the local team to me. And Swindon were actually above Chelsea. Hoddle brought in, I think, Viali, Hullet, and Zola. Hullet was player manager, that's right, wasn't he? And then Viali became manager, and he got us to second, but we were about to go bankrupt. And then the money came in from Russia, Roman, and he was going to buy Spurs, but Spurs didn't want him for some strange reason. And then I remember one of the first players that came in was Robin, and then when Jose arrived, Robin was our star player, and Jose was just like Jose Mourinho was just like, I don't know who this player is that you've brought in, but he's phenomenal. And then I remember he got injured, didn't he? And he went to Madrid. But Zola, yeah, we got him when he was quite old, but he was still incredible, wasn't he? I don't know if you remember that goal when he's running along, the corner comes in, and he sort of whacks in with his back leg, like behind him, like underneath him, like phenomenal. Yeah, Mata was brilliant, wasn't he? And we sold him after he won Player of the Year to Man United. I mean, I thought that's really strange, isn't it? It's like selling your Player of the Year to your rival. Let's turn the light back on. But then I think he got injured at United. Yeah, that goal was class, wasn't it? Like, was it? Um, DJ Productions. Do you follow a Premier League team? Um, do you know what I drive Uber here? One of my jobs. Soccer unites the world, 100%. Yeah, it's the best, isn't it? It's so good. It's magical, isn't it? If I won the lottery, I think I would just follow all the tournaments. Not anymore. No, fair enough. It's quite hard to follow in Australia, isn't it? Because of the time difference. Because we have a lot of the games are on here in Sydney at like 3 a.m. So I imagine they must be on about midnight in Perth. And then I guess the time of South Africa is the same as the UK, isn't it? Oh, is it Radabi, the South African footballer? And was Tony Yeboah? He wasn't South African, was he? He was. What was he? South African footballers. Let me have a look. But I remember you had some really top players. Yeah, Lucas Radebe, Dr. Kumalo, Benny McCarthy. He was brilliant. He was such a good player. Samuel. Oh, who's the greatest African footballer? Says here Samuel Eto'o, George Weah, Yaya Toure. Yeah, they were amazing. Yeah, Eto'o was at Chelsea for a bit. Not anymore. Yeah, Benny McCarthy, brilliant player. Absolutely class, wasn't he? Quinton Fortune. Tony Yeboah was a class player. Sean Bartlett. I'm trying to think who Sean Bartlett is. Let me have a look. This is mad, isn't it? How like you're we're like DJ Productions in Perth. Um, Redo, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, is in South Africa, and I'm in Sydney, and we can just chat. It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Religion to soccer. Yeah, and they're interesting, isn't they? And then the previous gentleman was from the West Midlands, which is just north of where I'm from in England. I'm going to have a quick look at Sean Bartlett. God, to be honest, football's a nice break from religion because I've just been, in my comment section with the atheists, and it's intense, man. It's intense. They don't hold back. They're just all guns blazing straight away, and a lot of it's like mockery. They're just like mocking, and I'm just like, because I find that with the whole mocking thing, you never learn anything, do you? You know what I mean? Like the atheists will mock me, and it's tempting to mock them back, and then you can feel good for a split second if you mock them back, but then afterwards you just feel, ugh. And then I'm like, that's not really a Christian thing for me to do. Professional football manager and former player, he was most recently at Cape Town Spurs. Let's have a look at him. Uh, Pinia, yeah, very good player. Very good player. I forgot about him. Yeah, very brilliant, very, very good player. Yeah, mocking is, isn't it? It's so immature. And yeah, I find it's tempting, isn't it, to like if someone mocks you, because we're all human, just to give it back. But then it's just no, it's not good, is it? It's not good. You just feel rubbish. You don't learn anything. Like I literally said this on a message to this atheist guy yesterday. I was just like, I said, mate, I said, this conversation's got to is going to end because I'm just not learning anything. This is a waste of both our time. And then he still replied a load of stuff, and it was silly stuff like on the definition of a ad hominem, and I was just like who cares, but um, yeah, he played for Charlton, then Kaiser Chiefs. Wow, what a career! Metro Stars, Celtic. Every guy's dream, isn't it, to be a professional footballer or a DJ, like DJ Productions. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Yeah, we do. We learn so much from each other. Like, I've learned so much just from the comments. Like when I did that, I did one book of the Quran, and I learned a lot about the Quran, learned a lot about Islam, and a lot about Muslims. I learned so much about you as people, um, which I think is awesome. I think it's so good because it's. I think DJ. I make beats. Nice. I see. Okay, fair enough. No, that's cool. Yeah, great. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll after this, I'll in about 10 minutes, I've got to go and get ready for. I'm meeting my friend to play ping pong, table tennis, and I'll listen to a couple of your videos on the way. So I've subscribed to your channel. Um, yeah, we learned so much. Yeah, that's why it's interesting. I don't know how to play it with the atheists because yeah, you're welcome. I look forward to that. Yeah, I don't know how to play with the atheists because I found I don't know whether to say because I've recorded a load of videos and they didn't take me long to do. I didn't take very long to do them because I found in the past I've done like 100 videos on YouTube, and some videos I literally spent 20 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours filming, writing, editing, and then like literally a week later, no one's watched them. And I just thought, what? Why? I mean, it's like a creative hobby anyway, so it's not like I'm trying to get like loads of views and stuff. But um, yeah, no, the biography series would be good. No, I look forward to that too. I really do. So with these atheist videos, I was like, right, I'm going to research anyway for Speaker's Corner here in Sydney. I just do a load of quick videos. I film them, put them out there, and yeah, I've had a lot of pushback, and I've had to delete a load of people, because they're just like leaving abuse. So I've just been like, okay, hide, and yeah, but I don't know how to play it. I don't know whether to say to them, look, say to them, be sort of respectful with them or what. But I get the impression that they're not really interested in respectful dialogue, and I get the impression they're not really interested in learning either. And I think a lot of it is literally because of Richard Dawkins. He actually said, and I've got it on a video somewhere. He literally said, "Don't engage with Christians, just mock them, because if you engage with them, you're giving them some validity." And I thought that's so arrogant, isn't it? And like we yeah 50 oh yeah we I lost my train of thought. Typical guy. Oh, I can only do one thing at a time. Looking forward to biography series. Yeah, me too. I know. I look forward to that. I do. DJ Productions. No offense at all, but do you know about the 50 shekels? I've heard of it. Or heard. I ask everyone and never get a reply. Ask them at Speaker's Corner. Okay. I'll just have a quick look on my phone. What that is. 50 shekels. Oh, is it the 50 shekels in the Bible? Let's have a look. Deuteronomy. Uh, yeah, that one. Deuteronomy 22:29. Yeah. To give the young woman's father 50, silver shekels, and she will become his wife because he has violated her. So I looked into this actually. Funny you mentioned that. 3 weeks ago, I was talking to an atheist. I won't say his name, and I nearly said his name then, but I got to be careful because I don't know if any of them would ever sign into this. And he brought that up, and he was really pressing me on it. He was like, "Look, it's rape," and he wouldn't let me say anything, and he was just shouting over me, and I started getting quite annoyed, and he really pressed me, and I said to him, "Look, I'm not playing this game with you. I'm not letting you just bamboozle me, because it is a debate, isn't it? Where you just plow pressure on someone and don't let them reply, and a lot of the Old Testament stuff does require context. So, from my understanding, and this could change because this is just from my memory, the translation can is more to do with premarital sex, because you know how it is in Middle Eastern culture, that in especially Jewish culture, and I presume in probably Islam as well, but I don't want to that's just this is just my presumption, that virginity is held at a very high thing, and if you have sex with a woman before she's married, you're kind of like defiling's a bit of a strong word, but you're sort of like a dishonor thing. I'll have a look now. If arrogance, the worst attitude to have, yeah, as if they are infallible as a human. Yeah, I agree. I know they're a flipping nightmare. They're a flipping nightmare, honestly. And it says in the Bible. I'll go to the 50 shekel stuff in a second. There's a saying: "Don't throw your pearls to swines." Well, I mean pigs, And what it's saying is, yeah, I'm sure you understand. Like for us not to give our wisdom and our time to people who just are completely closed off. They don't care. It's just a waste of time. And that's part of the reason why I want to start filming my debates at Speaker's Corner in Sydney, because often I'm debating these really hard-nosed atheists who are not interested in learning a thing, and all they want to do is rant to me. But at least if I can try and get some points across to them, I can then upload it and people can watch it and learn something from it, And but often with a lot of them so far, when I dig with them, I always get to an emotional reason why they reject God. If it's translated wrong, how can it be God's word? God's only doesn't make mistakes, and that would mean the words are not original. Yeah, no, that's a valid point. I would say how we get around that is we will, because we still have, like, for example, that text would be in, I presume, Hebrew, and we've still got it in Hebrew. Like, I imagine the oldest copy of that would be the Dead Sea Scrolls. 200, what was it, 250 BC or something. So if somebody really wanted to like really dig into it, they would go to that, or and they'd also go to, we have an app. I think you guys do too, because I saw someone that speak a Muslim guy going to an interlinear concordance or something. So yeah, we got like the Blue Letter Bible. What I would do is I'd go into that. I'm sure you've probably heard of this, and then I'll type in Deuteronomy. I'll go to the where we are. Okay, go. I should probably, if you're interested, I can do this on the screen. But so I go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is something I always forget how to spell because it's a long word. Deuteronomy. There we go. Deuteronomy 22, 28. And yeah, the whole translating to a different word, I think it's because we do have some words, I'm not sure exactly how many, that in the ancient Greek, or the original classical Greek, I think it's called, and the Hebrew, there isn't a direct translation to today. And there's some words that there isn't a translation at all. So they literally are guessing. But it's not many. It's not like thousands or anything. But I think it is. So I think that's one of the reasons why there's different translations. Also, we have different translations because on one end, I'll read the comment in a sec. We have literal word for word, which often doesn't make any sense. Like if you translate it literally from word for word, it doesn't make sense. And then on the other side, we've got meaning, where it's translated into meaning. And then we have, like, in the meaning section, which might be the NIV. Then if you go further afield, you've got like the message and the passion. And the message is for like absolute beginners, who have never known the Bible before. And it's in really modern contemporary language. And yeah, just to help beginners really. But because of that, we can have different words, but the meaning will still be the same. But you're right, it can throw a person 100%. Let me see, words are not original. It's no big deal. Just want to see what you think about it. Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate that. So yeah, I'll just have a very quick look anyway. 20 was it 20 to 28, 29. 50 shekels of silver, for he has violated her. He has never divorced. If a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married, this is the NIV, and rapes her, then they are then they are discovered. Okay, let's click on that. I'll just have a quick look. So first of all, I'll go to the Bible comparison. You still there? Yeah, yeah. You can see why we question. Yeah, 100. No, that's totally valid. 100% true. If you find simple mistakes in translation, imagine what else could be wrong. Well, we don't. I would say, in my opinion, that there are because we've got the original, like say the original Hebrew, not like the very, very original, but um, and then because we've got so many, sorry, I didn't mean to cover so many manuscripts. For example, I think it's like 5,600 New Testament manuscripts, and when you line them all up, like that. Like one will have like a comma missing, another one will have like two letters run the wrong way. Then you have like five that are all the same. Then you have one that's like missing a bit at the end. But when you look at like, say you look at like 100 of like, say, I don't know, John 17:3, you can see that what's the most consistent for all of them. And then because we have so many, it means that we can determine what the meaning is, or like what it actually is. But then you'll get like Bart Ehrman will say, well, in those 100 of 17:3, there's 200 different discrepancies, and it makes it sound really bad. But it's actually, I'm sure you've heard this argument before, it actually helps authenticate the text. If we only had like, say, like two copies of John 17:3, then we could say, oh yeah, we haven't got many discrepancies, but we haven't got many to compare the meaning. But so I'll just quickly go back to this. So CBSB says rapes. King James Version says and lie with her. The New King James Version says lies with her. NLT says who is a virgin but not engaged to be married if they are discovered. ESV says who is not betrothed and seizes her and lies with her. The RVR, whatever that is, 60, that's Spanish. NET, rapes. RSV, lies with her. ASV, lies with her. AMP, intimate with her. So, yeah, that's what I've got there, just to show I'm not like lying. And, oops. So there was probably like 4 that said rape, but there was probably more that said lies. So then what I would do is I'd say, oh, okay, so which one is it? And then I'd go back and I'd go to, where is it? Sorry. So there, you see what it says 28. I'd click on the 28 number. I'm sure you've got this as well for the Quran. And then if I click on interlinear concordance, he's got this. So it's got the Hebrew. Oops, where am I? There we go. And then I'll click down to where it says, a girl who is a virgin who is not engaged and seizes her. So in this here, it says, hang on. But it says only if they are discovered and no one knows, then no harm. Hang on, I'll have a look at that in a sec. So if I click on seizes her, which is H8610, I don't know if you can see it, right in the middle. Hang on, I'll just put my mic on my thing. I think it's amazing that you guys are asking this stuff. I think it's so cool. Your passion for this. So yeah, so Strong's 8610, English and Caesar's are Hebrew. Speech is a verb. Third person, number singular. Um, okay, so I'll show you that. Oops. And then I'll click on 8610. Then it says here tapas, a primitive root, outline of biblical usage: to catch, handle, lay hold, take of, seize, wield. To lay hold of, seize, arrest, catch, grasp, wield, use skillfully. To be seized, arrested, caught, taken, captured, grasp, catch. King James translation counts 65 times, translates strong 8610 in the following manner: 27 times to take, taken is 12, handle is 8 times, hold is 8, catch 4 times, surprise 2, miscellaneous 4. So I'll just click on that. And then which occurs 65 times in 60 verses in the WLC Hebrew. So the same word is used in Genesis 4:21. His brother's name was Jabal, and his father of all who play stringed instruments and pipes. I don't know which word that would be in there. Genesis 39:12. She caught him by his cloak and said, "Come to bed with me." But he left his cloak in her hand and ran out the house. So there's nothing about rape in that one either. Numbers 5:13. So that another man has sexual relations with her, and this is hidden from her husband, and her impurity is undetected, since there is no witness against her and she cannot be caught in the act. I'll show you. So, and if I click on that, which I haven't got time now because I'll leave in a minute, I can see which words in those sentences is the H8610 pass, which is the words rapes in the 50 shekels. Does that make sense? So that's how I explain stuff, really. But I can see why it's misleading, because this is the problem I have as a especially with atheists. Like, for example, yourself, you'll ask me and then you'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And same with me and Islam. Like I was saying stuff on my videos like, oh, I've heard this, blah blah blah, and a lot of it I was even believing, and then a lot of you guys were actually explaining to me stuff. I actually know it, that's wrong. And that's, yeah, a testament to how, like, you guys are, truth seekers, and I hope I am too. But an atheist, like that guy was pressing me a few weeks ago on this, and he was like, rah, 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 rah. And then he'd get another one, he'd be like, look, and there's another one, and he was like, with the Amalekites, because I think it was the Amalekites, God orders the Hebrews to kill all the older women, but not the virgins. And he was like, look, he's taking them away. What do you think they're going to, the Hebrews are going to do with all the virgins? And then I said, look, calm down, slow down. There's 33,000 verses in the Bible. I don't know the context for everyone. Let me research. And he was pressuring me. And he was shouting at me. And in the end, I mistakenly, which is wrong, I called him an arrogant old atheist. I apologized to him then, and then I apologized to him last week when I saw him again. But I was flustered, and I was like, Ed, I need more self-control. But that's how much he was pressing me, and I just thought, and yeah, the whole thing with the old ladies, kill the old ladies, is because they were tempting the Jewish men, and because of it, 25,000 Jews died because of this disease that they caught. I don't know if it's an STI, but it was some disease that the women were seducing the Jewish men. 25,000 Jews died, and they were also getting the Jews to do child sacrifices, I think, to Balaam. That last bit, I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but that's why, God said, kill all the old women, because of them, they killed 25,000 Jews. But to not kill the young virgin women, but to take them back with you, because in a time of war, if you kill all the old men and you kill all the old women, the young women are just going to be left in the middle of a place on their own. So yeah, it's not ideal, but it sort of makes sense. You make a good point. Best I had. Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate that. I get the same from people. They go crazy. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? It's full on. It's full on. But yeah, it's sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, I got like friends, I'm sure you guys have, who are like quite interested in like, money and houses and whatnot. And they're just like really happy and they're just like building these houses. And I'm just like, obsessing over all these things in the Bible and whatever. And I'm thinking, am I just some crazy religious man? You know what I mean? I'm spending my whole life obsessed with this. Um, but no, it's so interesting, isn't it? It's so interesting. It's huge. I wouldn't say mindful, but maze is so interesting. Um, but no, oh gosh, I really wish the debate. I've only been down Speaker's Corner for 3 months, and I'm sure you've had the same. Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, God in heaven is worth more than any house. 100%, 100%, 100%. But I've had about roughly probably in 14 weeks, about 14 debates. Some weeks 2 debates, some weeks none. And I was some really like full on debates with the atheists down there because so what there is down there, there's this like organized thing from like the Humanist Society, because there's a Humanist Society here in Sydney, and basically what it is, they believe in all the stuff to do with Christianity but without God. And then some of the guys there, they provide the chairs very kindly, but they go down there and they're like, sort of like preaching humanism because they, obviously they want to help people and everything like that. But then they've got a lot of misconstrued ideas about Christianity. And, you know, sorry, excuse me. And then, yeah, I've had debates. Yeah, probably you have too, about slavery, about abortion, about a bit about trans, about all of it, all the big topics. Like there's one humanist 2 weeks ago was saying that he thinks it's okay children up to the age of 2 to be murdered, like a late term abortion. And I was like, what the heck do I do with that? You know what I mean? I was like, how do you, as far as I'm aware, you guys believe in, was it abortion up to 3 months or something? But yeah, he believes in, 3 months of pregnancy, not like, but he believes in the baby being born and then 2 years and then still being able to, it's basically murder, isn't it? But like, but no, lots of good debate. I wish I filmed them all. I really do. This gentleman actually filmed a debate that he had down there, and I was thinking of posting it on here or doing like a Christian rebuttal to this atheist. And yeah, gentlemen, unfortunately, I've got to go because I've got to go meet my friends to play table tennis. Next time they say prove God exists, yeah, I'll prove he doesn't. Yeah, I don't think. Oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah. No, I've had that a lot. That whole, I think I mentioned one of the videos. This guy he's an atheist. He's writing a book on why God's not real, and he was shouting. He was like, "Why doesn't God just appear right in front of me right now?" And all this, and I was just like thinking, you have to be so quick on your thinking, don't you? And often these questions take time to explain, don't they? Like we believe in the Bible that seek and you will find, and I think I mentioned this in a video that like if God just appears, if you demand something of God, like appear right in front of me, it's like a kid demanding from his parent sweets. The parent's not going to be like, oh yeah, here, have a load of. The parent's going to be like, How about, to the child? Why didn't you learn some patience and some manners? Like, um, oh yeah, I also heard one of the atheists a couple of weeks ago shouting out loud, God is a Wanker. And I just thought, that's just rude, isn't it? It's just rude saying that. But, that's what we're dealing with. Next time they say, prove God is this, ask them, yeah, to prove he doesn't. I've said that. But then do you know what they do? The atheists are really slippery. Like, they say, was it, what's that thing? You made the claim, you got the positive, you have to prove it. I just lack belief. So the whole "I just lack belief" is a kind of semi-atheist, but then they have really strong atheist views. So they're adopting this position of "I just lack belief," as if there's some sort of very mild atheist who doesn't really think about it. But then they've also got these really strong opinions of atheism. So, and this, I've also heard an atheist say, to be an atheist, all you have to say is, I don't believe in God, that's it. And then, so they're limiting their whole worldview and everything just to this one line so that you can't cross examine any of their beliefs. And it all comes from like the likes of Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris. But then because they have all these arguments, they get really like cocky. And I think that's why they sort of mock us. See you on another vid. Yeah, God doesn't need us. That's why he doesn't have to prove anything. Yeah, but we need him. Yeah, that's correct. He doesn't need us. He is our creator. Yeah, amen. Anyway, I've really enjoyed chatting to you both, and yeah, God bless you both. And yeah, I guess over in Perth it's probably a bit earlier, isn't it? It's probably about 2 p.m. And then where's Redu? I think he's left. But yeah, if you watch this again later, I hope you have a good day in South Africa. But anyway, thank you, DJ Productions. Hopefully I can chat to you again soon. And yeah, once I figured this out a bit more, feel free to even call in and we can have a chat. But yeah, and if you're ever over in Sydney, give us a shout. I'll go for a coffee or something. Oh, 3:30. Oh, cool. So 2 hours behind. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, mate. Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, peace to you too. Is it salam alaikum? I can't. I've got to learn how to say that properly. Salam alaikum. Is it salam alaikum? Awesome, man. Okay, I'm going to click on end stream now. But yeah, thanks for the chat. I appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. Awesome, man. Okay, take care. See you. Bye. Bye.